Hey everyone, it is now the end of November 2025, and right now we're heading out to the Gulf Coast because we're gonna see if we can camp at an island out here. This is not part of the Everglades, this is actually northern Florida. And it says, access prohibited after dark, no camping here. But can you park here overnight? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look into this. Because we want to try to get out to an island out here. I think we'd be okay staying here overnight because it says on another sign, access into the refuge is prohibited. We're not going to the refuge. So I'm gonna go over here to parking spaces for cars. All right, everyone, I just drove down the road maybe half a mile. This is called Shire Island Campground. And this might be a good place to park and take off. There's not really any parking, it's just a dead-end road with a yellow line. It just ends. Look at the sand here. See people drive out here. I wasn't gonna try taking my car up here. Might spin out. But this is beautiful. There's a fire pit. Looks like a bathroom. And a lot of monarch butterflies. Pretty interesting. I like the Gulf Coast for kayaking because it's almost always calm. Not really many waves on a regular day. So I could walk down here with my backpack and kayak in one trip, not packing super heavy. Bring enough water. And if we went down a ways, there's a bunch of islands with beaches. So down there is pretty much where we just parked, and you see that row of signs? This is National Animal Refuge. Now we wouldn't have been camping in there, but nothing says we couldn't park down in this way. A lot of trash around here. At least somebody cleaned it up and put it in that fridge. The sand is so white, it's blinding the sun off it. I bet this water would be even more calm if we left early in the morning. So I gotta get the kayak and we're gonna explore down there. There's a lot of little islands the map is showing, and all the little islands seem to have really sandy beaches. According to Google Maps, this campground is temporarily closed, but in person, nothing says you can't be here. Absolutely nothing. Abandoned bathrooms. Here's the septic. You see the main road just ends. I feel like after a big storm it may have eroded. This may have gone to a nice parking area and a campground. That's what it seems like. All right, everyone, I just went through everything. I've never tipped a kayak in my life, but you are required by Florida law to at least have it in here. I'm not going far out. I'm just gonna follow the coast down to a couple of islands and we'll check them out. I got a new tent. It's very compact. Never seen that before. It's round. I'll show you that when we get there. Got the paddles, more water than I think we need. an MRE because it's really hot. I don't feel like cooking. I thought about bringing my little stove out here. I thought about stopping by a store to get something to eat, but we'll save that for another campground, maybe in the Everglades. We'll head down there in a couple days. It's here up in northern Florida. It's already super hot, but amazingly, it's not humid at all. The breeze coming off the Gulf is really nice. All right, everyone, it's 1 in the afternoon. We have about 6 or 7 hours till it gets dark. That was actually very heavy moving down here with all my stuff. But it'll be lighter on the way back after we use up a lot of water. Pretty calm for the ocean. All right, everyone, so what we're looking at now, right here and right here, is this and this. They don't seem to have a name, but we're gonna be continuing on. I wanna try to get to Little Pine Island way down here. I think we can get down there in about another 2 hours. I hear a dog somewhere. Maybe it's on this boat that's approaching. Hopefully they don't make too many waves. All right, so here's what it looks like up close. There is actually nice white sand in there, and there's one tree on the island, very small. Island has an elevation of probably less than a foot. Here's that other thing I was pointing at. I don't think that's even an island. That looks like it has water all the way through it, but it's very shallow. In fact, where I am now, I could probably get out and I'd be able to touch the bottom. So this is Big Pine Island. It has so many awesome beaches. We're gonna try to sleep at Little Pine Island over there. Very small, lots of sand, only a couple of palms. It's actually not as far as I thought. But then again, something on the horizon like that, that's gonna take us probably another almost hour to get to, I think. We will see. It is 1:20 exactly. As soon as I start to feel the sun tingling, I gotta put sunscreen on. It doesn't feel that bad right now, but let this be the first trip to the south I don't get severely burned. This used to be an island. That tree sticking up, completely eroded. Over here you can see from the last hurricane, lots of trees tipped over and uprooted. Big Pine Island. I don't think I see a single pine in there, actually. But we're going up there to a little teeny thing on the horizon. No one's out here. The guy on that boat back there was also very nice. He went by us super duper slow, trying not to make waves. When we get there, we're gonna see if there's any pines. Yeah, now I see it. There are indeed pines in the center of this island, deep in the woods. All right, everyone, so we're about halfway to it, I think. The waves are a little bit bigger out here. A few of them have splashed in, but nothing too terrible or concerning yet. There's a lot of fish that keep jumping out of the water, which is nice. We've almost made it to the end of Big Pine Island. The thick part's already gone. These barrier islands are so cool. We're getting closer. It looks like two little islands connected by a sandbar. More trees in the water. But over here, what's that? Is that pelicans? I don't think it's pelicans. Got some sort of birds out there. Might be pelicans. I can't see from this distance, even zooming in. But if I zoom in 20 times, are those pelicans? They might be pelicans, yeah. It's just this is so shaky out here on this choppiness to really get a good focus on him. Who we got out here? I love seeing the birds that are all over the south. Okay, maybe we're a little bit closer, a little bit calmer now. Yeah, they're pelicans. They're pelicans, all right. Let me snap a few stills. Awesome. Okay, that looks, now that we're getting closer, like two separate little islands. We got another friend out here. All right. Now that we're closer, it's not what it appeared to be at all. From a distance, it looks completely different. Yeah, they are actually connected like I originally thought. And those pelicans are actually on the same island. I couldn't tell that from a distance. We got a seagull right there. Another seagull. And we are closer than before. Yep, pelicans with a whole bunch of other birds. Because they're way out here, I doubt they're gonna be the friendlier ones that you let you get closer. Because out here, there's not too many people. What does he have? He got a fish. See all the uprooted trees, lots of erosion here. The boats you can hear are actually super far away. And look, there's stumps. This island was a lot bigger. I gotta compare where I'm standing to what the map is showing in a moment. I'm trying to go around the island and see what we got. Oh, here he is again. What kind of bird is that? It caught a fish. I'm trying to be as still as possible. It's really hard when you're zooming in, but I think I snapped some shots of him. The water's so shallow everywhere, and it's pretty clear. Like, when I was camping last year, where we had to walk 8 hours through the Everglades to get to a swamp. We walked 8 hours through the Everglades to get to a beach. It was very silty water down there on the southwest coast of Florida. Very silted, always dirty, and that's dangerous because there's stingrays in that water and you're not going to see them, and if you step on them, it could end very badly. I'm seeing if we can go all the way around this, make a lap. I think the other side is still the best side to camp where we came in from. Okay, the back side. Here's where all those pelicans are. Alright, so I'm gonna show myself going around because I got a feeling they're gonna fly away, but if not, we'll get some footage of the pelicans. I'm not gonna try to go super close to them. I'm just gonna try to get around the sandbar that they're sitting on. So I'll angle you guys towards them. It's stiller back here on this side. Okay, this is actually perfect to get some close-up shots. I got you stabilized on the tripod so we can get some good pictures of these guys. I'm hoping these shots are coming out good. I'll add all my stills to the end of the video. That's what I usually do. Beautiful. I've never seen this many pelicans up close. At least not since I was a little kid. And that was at a pier where they were kinda used to people. Let's zoom into them a little bit more. They're not afraid. Maybe I'll actually be able to get around them without them taking off. Maybe they got confidence in a group like this. Oh, fish. I see why they're out here. There's lots of fish. And I feel like those are Pelicans, the ones that I'm showing catching them. I'm not 100% though. Okay, these guys are taking off, but that's a sandbar. There's not enough depth there. I still gotta keep going all the way out and around. And yep, this is an island we verified. You can't always trust Google Maps because sandbars can form differently every storm, connecting land, making land bridges. Things can erode. So there's islands the map might show you which aren't actual islands anymore. And right here, the smell is horrible. These guys with their seafood diet, it absolutely stinks here. The waste from these guys is gross. Okay, we're getting some nice shots of them right now with the island in the back. Okay, now let's go back to where the palm trees are and we can set up camp soon. I'll keep the camera going because they might, it looks like the flock might take off. I'm just gonna paddle slowly, not making any noise. Whoa! They'll come back. This could end very, very badly for me, all the birds flying. When I was in middle school, when they let us out for recess, the birds all started flying like this, and it was dropping poops on everybody. They're just moving away from me. They're just landing on a different part of the island. Look at these birds. There's a whole ton of them. Can you hear them all chirping at the same time? That really sounds nice. And all the pelicans right now, they're not really bothered by me. They all flew away and they're all landing back there. And look at these guys just all took off too. Oh, whoa! Thought they were gonna fly into me there. Oh, here they come around again. Awesome. All the pelicans have landed again back where they were. There's the Pelican again. Got a fish. That's so cool. I'm still in the boat, but I'm like on the shore, so I'm sort of semi-stable. These guys are around, so I'm sure we can get more shots of them. Over here it's very muddy, and whoa, I gotta get out of here. That's why I brought Crocs to the island, so I can take my pants off and go swimming. This area, the water's actually nice. It's very warm, and you see the pelicans are at the far side of the island, landed back. That's so cool. Let's see what the island's got to offer. I see footprints. Other people have been here. Nice flat spots to set up a tent. Here's a rope, somebody's clothesline. Unfortunately, someone left their Pop-Tart wrappers. I hate to see that stuff. When there's a little bit of trash like this, I always try to clean it up. If there's a lot, there's not much you can do about it yourself, but little wrappers, I always take them with me. And look at all the baby palms starting to grow. Little baby palm trees. Cool island. We have hundreds, maybe thousands of friends on the island with us. There's a lot of birds. Honestly, it probably is in the thousands because look at all these guys. There's so many of these small birds. And these ones aren't even afraid of me when I was coming in. Looks like we have a cowbird too. Is that what I'm seeing there? Where are you? Yeah. I love coming out to places like this. Great places as a nature photographer. And you see there's houses back there on the mainland, but the mainland is pretty far. I don't think anyone's gonna bother us out here. So let's unload, pick up some trash, add it to my trash bag. People are trying to bury their trash too. We'll have a nice sunset out here, I'm sure. Here's this guy again. Oh, with fish again. Cool. All right, everyone. We got a new tent that I've never even set up before. Never even tried it at home or nothing. It comes on like a backpack. It's made by Nightcat. I have another Nightcat tent for backpacking for 2 people. It's the smallest little compact thing. So easy to set up. So I had to give another one of their products a try. This is a automatic pop-up tent, supposedly. Let's open it, look at the directions, and figure out how it works. It's rated for 1 person. Let's see how this is gonna work out. So I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna put a tarp down over the sand. Everything that's salty kind of makes a mess. It's got tent stakes, but there's no wind. Plus, when I put my backpack in there, it's not gonna blow away. Okay, Nightcat pop-up tent user manual. Let me show you. So right here is the user manual. Step 1, stand in the middle to collect all of the poles. These things are always a challenge the first time setting these things up, but then it's usually pretty easy. Whoa! It literally just popped out. I hope I can figure out how to put that away tomorrow. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's go back here, put in the shade. That was pretty cool. Now let's see how hard it is to put away in the morning. I think I might even practice right now trying to take the thing down. We're gonna try it right now. We're gonna try taking this down so things are easier in the morning. But let's see what we got. I think you could honestly probably squeeze a second person in there. I like how it has a window out each side, one door at the end. And what are we looking at for material? That's looks like plastic that opened it up. It might have metal. I'm pretty sure there's metal in the middle of that plastic. All right, I think I got it, and that would fit back in the bag. So you gotta squeeze it like a figure 8. I'm not exactly sure how I did that. But I'm gonna stop what I'm doing because there's a lot of sand in it right now. I gotta clean it. Two people could totally actually use this tent, but it was a unique design and I wanted to review it to see how it is. Got a hook in here, can't put much weight on it, but you got the little window, got a little baggie here for a phone or something. I like it. It's kind of hot in here right now because it's a dark color, but this is nice for at night. And what else I really like about it is the same reason I love my other night cat. You shut these windows, you can completely seal it off where there's no ventilation. Perfect for the wind, perfect for cold weather. And we are on a beach. This is kind of inevitable, but I'm not gonna stake it down because I can literally just pick it up and dump it out. If I'm in here sleeping or even just my backpack, this can't blow away. I'm so far liking it. I'm really hoping not, but we may have set up on a fire ant nest. Red faces and black behinds, those might be fire ants. I hope not. If I get stung by just one of them, I'm gonna have to quickly move. I see trails of them. Are they going under me? Yeah. I think those are fire ants, so let's grab my shoe. Nothing's in them. Okay, let's try not to get them on me. I'm just dragging the tent over here. They're everywhere actually, but over here they seem pretty scattered. Oh no, it collapsed because it moved sideways. Pop back up. No. There we go, pop back up. I'm sitting in my tent in the shade editing right now, and I'm getting a little nervous about what I'm seeing. A lot of them are showing up. I can always quickly move if need be. It seems like there actually are a lot more fire ants, but let me step out. I don't think they're actually gonna bother me unless I step on their nest. I probably shouldn't have moved because it seems like there's more of them where I moved. So there's a trail of them right there. And there's just a few random stragglers around. So I think I might move the tent back because right here, there's just a few stragglers around. If I don't step on the nest, I don't think they're gonna bother me. It's getting calmer out. I haven't had a boat in a while. I said earlier, so from the parking lot, it took us about 50 minutes of paddling to get here. By far not our longest trek. And there's pieces of coconut. Just pieces, unfortunately. Nothing we can crack open and drink. But who knows? Now it's time we have to explore. And it is actually pretty safe for me to go swimming here. I was just looking at population maps of certain things. And according to those population maps, it wasn't even that hazardous when we were down all the way at the tip of Florida. It's actually between here and the tip where there's most stingrays. Here there's not many, at the bottom there's not many. It's just like right between when I was looking at all their population maps. Also, down in the south areas, there's crocodiles. Up here, none. And alligators are unlikely to be found in salt water. So not much to worry about. And many of the sharks you may find out there, they also don't want anything to do with you. Last year when I was in Florida, I had a great white swim right up to me. Thing was probably at least twice as big as me. It was just curious, then it swam away. But definitely got very still, and I'm gonna be venturing around. I also can't wait to adventure through here with my large flashlight at night, because I bet the beach here is gonna have crabs. It'll be interesting to make some videos of that. So here there is a bigger stalk from the palm tree. It just got pushed over. A lot of shells. But I'm gonna keep an eye out for a coconut I can try to smash open. The last campers sure were messy here. And I guarantee you this was the last campers, because I doubt that this would have just showed up here with the crumbs still in it. I doubt it. Look at this. That's actually so cool. Horseshoe crab, all completely dried up. I was given one of these by my grandparents as a kid. I should keep that as a souvenir. There's glass, but actually the glass isn't a huge deal. It's not broken. Eventually, I think the ocean will just grind it down. What's this? I don't know what that is. A piece of pipe? But I will try to pick up trash, a little bit of it here. You know, Florida actually will bring out ships out into the ocean and purposely dump glass bottles far out. And by the time they show up on the beach, they won't cut anyone. They're all ground down. Tourists love collecting the different colored glass. I'm seeing lots of crab holes. They should be out and about at night. See that hole? Crabs dig that. It's about the size of a quarter if you can't tell. Some are much larger, some are smaller. There will be lots of crabs. Looking at the satellite images, we have to check this out. This island has a pond that I didn't even notice. Okay, I brought the trash back. We got that guy. And if I do choose to go swimming, we can utilize the clothesline from the last person. But now, it's time to do some exploring. I love bringing MREs out to camp because I don't really have to be concerned much of cooking food, and I can focus more on the nature. Although it didn't take as long as I thought to get out here. I thought meat or something would have went bad, but I actually do wish I would have brought something in my little cooktop too. The tide's going out. This was underwater when we first got here. But yeah, there's water in here. I'm gonna try to walk around the whole thing. It looks like a solid beach going around it. So yeah, this is completely surrounded. Lots of shells. There's a aluminum can. No rocks or anything. This is really cool. This pond back here. I bet if we come here at night with the flashlight, there's gonna be critters in here. There's so many holes from crabs. But that's probably why all the birds are here. I wouldn't be surprised if the tide traps stuff in here all the time. So many birds. Wow. So many pelicans. I'm getting some better pictures because the ones from the boat were a little shaky. And there's a lot of other human tracks here. But I don't think we're gonna have visitors. I try to do this stuff if all possible on weekdays. It sounds so nice. You have hundreds of them chirping at the same time. This is actually fairly deep, some of these pools. Oh, I do see a good amount of little fish. So it looks like when the tide comes in, it actually does come through here. It looks like we just missed it draining. They don't have much fear of me. Do you hear their noises? It's so cute. What about this pool? Oh, a bunch of the pelicans are taking off. I bet this is gonna feel like bath water. We'll be here for a while, so we'll probably get to see this place at high tide soon. Are they gonna fly away? Oh! I'm assuming that's the kid's toy, or is that a filter or a drain from something else? This area looks like it also floods and probably traps numerous fish. So this is our little island for tonight. Oop, they didn't fly away this time. They're floating away this time. I'm gonna ditch the pants on the way back and just wear my bathing suit around. What are these birds eating? Must be something good in here. Let's go have a look. It's very muddy, whatever they're picking out of there. Nice shell. Got a snail shell. There's actually a lot of really nice shells here. Look at that one. This one's got living barnacles on it. More plastic. It's actually a really big piece of plastic. The majority of it's buried. What are these tracks? Looks like raccoon. How would a raccoon get out here? I really don't know. There's not enough tracks for me to think it lives here. Oh wow, we got another one. This one is freshly dead. I can tell because it's very heavy. Does it smell? I don't smell anything. It might actually just be full of sand. Yeah, it's sand, thankfully. Yeah, it's fully intact. I never find these fully intact, and we just got 2 of them. So cool. Now, let's hope they can stay fully intact until I get home. I'm gonna be in Florida a couple more weeks. I'm gonna try to jam the... Oh! Oops. Did I just break it? I think I literally broke it. It's okay, there's another one. Oh, this one's got barnacles all over it. That's actually kind of cool that it's got barnacles on it. We got to get all the sand out because that's why it just snapped by picking it up like that. The weight of the sand. I can go wash it off in the water too. But yeah, I don't think I broke it, mate. Nah, I did. Maybe. No, it definitely is. But that's okay. I like the one with the barnacles, actually. Maybe I'll find more. Maybe I'll find a small one. Or an absolute giant. It's already broken, but that is huge. I didn't know they could get that big. That is a huge horseshoe crab shell. Awesome. Looks like it would make a good helmet. A lot of plastic seems to wash up at this beach. I'm seeing a number of things. But there's our camp. So high tide looks like it does come into here a bit. Oh, there's another one, and this one, something was here picking at it, or are you still alive? Nope, that's definitely not alive. It's also very intact. Another huge piece of plastic. There's plastic zip ties, there's some beer cans. Okay, this side has a bit more stuff. And what's this? At first I thought it was a tailgate, but it says Roof Techo something. Anything under it? Ooh. It's actually so heavy, that's hollow, and it's filled with the extra fine sand. I can't even lift it. When I first came here, this was all underwater. We got a peninsula starting to form. When I get back to my phone, I gotta look up what time is low tide and what time is high tide, because you can easily look that up. Look at all these huge stumps. So many stumps are coming out of the water, showing you how big this island once was. I moved my tent back because that's actually the worst spot for the fire ants. I think they'll leave me alone over here though. So low tide is in about 2 hours at 5:30, and high tide is going to be around 1 in the morning. So we probably won't see that. It'll be low tide again pretty much by the time we leave in the morning. So here's what today's MRE came with. Menu number 5. The chicken is actually warm because it was inside the bright red kayak. It's a darker color and it's like an oven in there, I guess, where this was. It's got tortillas. It has barbecue sauce and cheese to mix with this. Kind of make like a little taco. It's got a teriyaki beef stick, barbecue toasted corn kernels. I love those. An energy bar, chocolate flavor. Chocolate sometimes keeps me awake because it does have caffeine in it. I'll probably have that for breakfast. It's got fruit punch I can mix into my water bottle. It's gonna be a good night. But I'm gonna have a snack right now. I think I'm gonna have the beef stick. I can confirm they are fire ants. I was standing over there in front of the tent, not even near their hole. And yep, I don't think I've ever actually got bit by one of them in my life, but I just got bit by like 3 of them. They all started just swarming when I was standing there. So it's itchy, and it says on the internet that the itching will probably subside in only 5 or 10 minutes. No, the pain will subside in 5 or 10 minutes, but it could itch over a week depending on you. So I guess it's gonna be like like a poison ivy rash. Well, that sucks. If it bothers me too much, I'll have to get something at the store to put on it. I guess I'll just stay closer to the water until bedtime. It really doesn't even hurt. That was just the slightest prick. I'm just nervous about. It says it could last up to a week depending on the person. Here's our island. It's got a peninsula forming. Lots of stumps out here. Super shallow. And it looks like we got a friend here. Let's see. Look at that big, gigantic sea snail. Okay, we'll put you back down. Let's see how far I can walk before I start to get my shorts wet. I might not go swimming. We'll see. Now it's starting to get up a little bit to my knees, but not bad. We're not in southern Florida, so this water is actually not that warm. It's a bit chilly. Now it's getting more shallow. Now it's starting to get shallow again. We're walking far. This guy is beautiful. Look how big this one is. It's got barnacles on him. Look at all these barnacles. I can just break the barnacles off him. I'm sure the guy doesn't like the extra weight. Some of these I can't even get off with my finger. Here. Alright, we'll put you back. There's lots of crab holes too. Lots of snails. There's already a lot of interesting creatures coming out. Look at all the barnacles here. The ones that are slightly underwater are open because they're filter feeding, and then they close up when they're out of the water. I wonder if this is all going to become out of the water, because this is getting very shallow right now. I got no idea what that is, but I just took a still of it, because I'm gonna ask Google when we are sitting around later. So here's our peninsula, which won't be here in the morning. I saw a stingray out there and I kept looking and looking and I couldn't find him again. This area on that map that I was looking up from a bunch of different sources said the same thing. This area has very few of them. It's unlikely to see them. It's more likely to see them down the coast quite a ways. But I did see one, it came up to me, it was curious. So now that I know there are some here, you want to kind of drag your feet along, because that vibration will make any of them disappear by the time you get there. What is that? I need to screenshot that and Google Lens it. What is this creature? I've been seeing a lot of them actually. But as far as a stingray, if it does sting you, it's very, very painful, it says. But it's rarely life-threatening. So that being said, I'm just gonna drag my feet because they like burying themselves in this shallow stuff. And I'm just gonna keep exploring like this until the sun goes down. I gotta check out the island because I have to move my tent somewhere. I'm not leaving it there where I got stung by those guys. Alright, I moved the tent. Everywhere at high ground has those guys, but hopefully they won't start swarming over in this area. If they do, I might have to settle down in here somewhere, which I don't think is gonna flood, but it's pretty close. And anything I open, I'm not eating it in the tent. I'm eating it outside the tent, and my wrappers are over by the kayak but not in it. I don't want them to be attracted in this tent for any reason when I'm sleeping, or in the kayak for a miserable surprise in open waters. Someone made a fire pit. We might make a fire pit or light up what they have. It's filled with trash. I guess if we don't do it, that trash is probably going to end up in the water next storm. Maybe we should light that up. But we'll do it when it gets dark so the smoke's not noticed. The pelicans are still there, but they're dwindling in numbers. They're slowly disappearing as the day progresses. I'm gonna move the tent again. Let's try over there by those palms, way over there. See if I still see ants. Because there's a few walking around the tent, and I just noticed right here. So I'd rather not be here again. The water's really, really getting low now. We still have another hour until it's low tide. So I moved down here. I don't think this area will flood. I don't see any ant hills down here yet. I see raccoon tracks and I see a lot of crab tracks. But as I look carefully at the ground, I do not see any ants. Nope. I've been sitting for a bit with my legs in the sand and no sign of ants down here, so that's good. Before it gets completely dark, I'll eat my food somewhere far from the tent to not attract any of them over. Look at all this sand forming. It's pretty awesome. And it's still not even all the way out. So whoever else was exploring this island was dragging something, and the last tide did not cross this. But I see erosion. Some recent storm was flooding over into these pools. Look at all this extra beach. And it's still going out. Here's what this area looked like before. We got a baby crab. Look how small that is. A baby crab. I guess the pond up here has a pretty good liner. It's not lowering with the water. This is a pretty cool pattern. Thousands and thousands of footprints from the birds. Look at that. Zooming in 10 times. Look at all those beautiful pelicans. We're taking another lap around. Oh. As the sun goes down, they're slowly moving away. I wonder where they actually sleep. I think they sleep out on the water. Am I right about that? Ooh, we have another pond now. Yeah, check out this pond. Do the pelicans just sleep out on the water? Nope, nope, they're moving to another sandbar that's forming. It's probably because of me being over here closer to them. And we still got water trickling out right here. You gotta be careful with this mud. This is so slippery. It could be very messy quickly. The last time I was taking a lap right here, I was wearing pants. This grass is extremely razor sharp. Sunscreen and salt make your fingers slippery. It was so hard to open these things. I had to take the lighter and burn the edge of it to soften it to even get them open. A little bit of chicken I spilled. The crabs will love that at night. But we got a lot of chicken, giant piece of cheese, and we'll leave the wrappers far away from the tent so whatever wants to sniff it out can. This is surely the pretty time of the day. The white sand is now turning orange. The sun's setting at the lowest tide. Tide's about to start going back up again. So this time of year, the end of November, sunset is around 5:40. Sunrise is around 7 in the morning, so 13 and a half hours of darkness before the sun comes back. This stuff here is super dry, great for kindling. That's what I threw in here. I threw a bit of that in here. I'm gonna throw some more in here. That'll quickly burn, and the other people's garbage might act as an accelerant to help that burn. At least that plastic won't end up in the environment if we're able to burn it all. Beautiful. It's so pretty out. Almost set. Very little smoke. Everything's dry. Whoever was here last time built that wall, I guess, so you can't see the flame at night. But I just lit a bunch of this grass on fire and threw the dry logs that were already in here back on top of it. Maybe that'll stay going for a while. That's the hope. All right, the sun is all gone. This fire actually got going a lot better than I thought it would have. Just collecting some of that dry grass on the ground was great kindling. And all the trash, we can actually get rid of it. Because there's too much of it to be able to carry back. Easy disposal. Then it doesn't end up in the water. Walking around, I found these split pieces of wood. They're either wet or hardwood. We're gonna find out. We're gonna let it die down low now that it's getting dark. Those were good hardwood or something. I don't know what kind of wood that is, but it's burning really slow and with a good flame. If I want to keep it going, I can move some things around. No need to collect firewood. That'll probably burn hours just as it is. So, that wall is doing its job pretty much. You can only see the flames and the smoke. All right, everybody. Let's go for a walk. I can shut my headlamp off. I don't need this because I got my big light here. I was just experimenting. See how horseshoe crab shells burn. Honestly, the side of it's kind of melting like aluminum. It's weird how it's burning. Interesting though. Okay, this is not the super big light. This is the light that I nicknamed the moonbeam. Still very, very bright for a flashlight. But I call it the moonbeam because look what it can do. Look at that beam. Up into the sky. It's like a lightsaber. Look at that. Woo! We better not do that for long. Someone's gonna see that You can see this surprisingly far away. But that being said, there's very little light pollution. Look, just a couple of houses over here on the shore. You look back at the panhandle over there, there's a glow of a city. Very little light pollution in northern Florida. Like when we camp in the Everglades, there's not much light pollution there, but you see a big glow on the horizon from Miami. I realized out here the earwigs are huge compared to up north, but I'm looking for crabs. They like to come out and walk around when the sun goes down. So we're taking a look out, and that does shine far. I heard a bird far away take off. Must have shined it on it. The tide has slightly started going back up, but really not that much. I don't feel sick at all, but someone's gonna mention my voice right now. I'm just very congested for some reason. Let's check out these pools, because I'm not seeing anything in the water there. Ooh, something's hopping. Something just started hopping like crazy. In the distance over there, look at that. Is that fish? There's a reason it's illegal in most states to use flashlights when you're fishing, because it attracts fish. I always love going for walks when I'm camping in new environments. I'm trying to figure out what that is hopping. Yes, it was fish. Here they are. Let's zoom in. That's what's hopping. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Lots of bird food in this shallow water. Let's go to the other side, check out those pools. You know, I was just saying a couple weeks ago when I was camping in northern Ontario that I wanted to go out to an island on what they call Owl Lake. Owl Lake only has one island. It's fairly big and had a pond on it, but there was no roads going to it. But then I found this by accident. I didn't even really realize the pond. I'm walking out here to the end of this peninsula because by morning the tide is gonna be like halfway again. We're not gonna see it at high tide unless I happen to be up at 1 in the morning. So this is where all the pelicans were hanging out. And when it got dark, I could see them out there on a sandbar. But what are they gonna do when the water starts coming up? I'm assuming they're just gonna float there. Okay, finally off the slippery mud. So this goes underwater. This is the thing I was saying the water was too shallow to go over with the kayak. Now the water's not even near it. Well, we got a lot of fish down there jumping. What if we use that? Oh, wow. Oh. Now, this is like the best example I've ever seen of why it's illegal to use flashlights night fishing. You see how many just hopped? They like jump at the light. Come on. I know that was on camera though. Whole bunch of them. Oh, yeah. Bunch of fish jumping out there. Those are fairly big. They were also jumping in the daylight. They were jumping as I was in the kayak. Let's see if we can see the pelicans out there. Or is there... It might be too foggy out. Oh! Can we see them? I think that's their sandbar out there. I definitely heard the pelicans. I heard one go, "Rrr, rrr," I must have woken them up. See, pelicans are big. Those are huge footmarks compared to a duck. They're really, really big. Oh, more fish. More fish out there jumping. Even this little flashlight actually gets burning hot. All these super bright models of flashlights get like that. Okay. That's a reflector. Oh, more fish. I want to walk out here in the water and see if I can get anything like the fish to come up to me. I can't believe I'm not seeing any crabs. Oh, here's a couple little fish coming up to me. Lots of foam. I gotta switch hands. Any fish gonna come up to me if I walk out here? Oh, there's one. Any other fish gonna come visit me? What is that? What's that long fish right there? I don't know if stingrays are attracted to lights like this. Got some more fish jumping. What's that? What's this hole? Is somebody there in the entrance of it, or? I can't believe this beach, literally you can't find even a pebble. It's just sand and silt. There's no rocks here at all. Nothing. I find this pretty cool. Look at this. How it eroded that. Oh. Ooh. That's fun. Okay, we're coming back around. So we're gonna look in these ponds now. Let's see how much of the water seeped through the sand. The tide really went down now. That'd be fun to see this gushing out. Oh, I see stuff jumping. Lots of stuff jumping. What do we got here? I swear I just saw a crab or something scurry away. These fish are pretty. whatever these things are. What about in the deeper areas? Oh, there we got a crab. Is it alive or is it a shell? Oh, he's alive. Oh, look at him bury himself. He got scared. You can still see his eyeballs poking up. This is a pretty deep hole. Is that a rock? Another crab. Oh, we actually got a couple of them. Here's another one. Oh, yeah, there's actually a whole bunch of them. They're all waking up and coming out of their holes. Yep, see down in the hole? All those holes I was showing earlier have crabs coming out of them now. Every hole here. Oh, that one just slipped into its hole again. Oh, I just saw another one go down there. We're gonna see any more big ones? Because they do get a lot bigger than that other one. Is that a shrimp? It looks like a shrimp. I think I can make this a little brighter again. Oh, we've been using it a while. Lots of fish over there jumping. Crazy amount of jumpers. I'm just curious about these objects in here. All right. At least we got to see a bunch of crabs. Pretty soon this is all gonna fill back up. Now we'll check over here near the grass and see if we can see any more friends. I see fish out there jumping. Whole bunch of fish over here. Wow, look at them all swarming up to me. And this right here is why you're not supposed to fish with a light. Because I have used lights before and you can literally pick them up. Literally pick them up because it can't see you. It just sees the light and you can... I've actually grabbed pretty big fish before. Is that guy alive? Yeah, he just buried himself. There's so many of them swarming over to me in this area. Ooh. What we got here? Is that a snake or an eel? It's trying to hide. Oh, hermit crab. Oh, very, very big crab. And he's buried himself. Where'd that snake thing go? It looks like it yep, there's its tail. It's just about buried. Okay, we got a good amount of creatures over here. I used to catch those crabs with my uncle when I was a kid, and we'd eat them all. Another hermit crab. They'll pinch you if you try to pick them up. This side of the island has got the creatures. All these creatures only come out at night because the seagull would get them. The tide really is low. I was able to kayak through this grass before. Ooh, that scared me. Big ones coming over. More jumpers. Ooh, another big one coming over. What are these long, skinny fish? Those are different. We're getting quite the variety today. Wow, a lot of fish over in this corner. Look at them all coming up to me. So this will all get underwater again in a couple of hours. There's the kayak. And we're walking back over to the stingray area. Let's go see if there's any creatures near these old stumps. We're almost back around to the fire pit. We've made a pretty good lap. The water is warmer on this side. Oh, hermit crab. Wow, there's a lot of hermit crabs. 1, 2, 3. A lot of snails, which are great food for the hermit crab. Another 2 hermit crabs. Ooh, another one of those worms, but this one's tiny. That other one was thick like a snake. Well, I think we're done. I'm gonna sit by the fire a little bit longer. Wait for myself to get tired. Then try to sleep. I forgot my blanket, but that's okay. If I get cold, I'll just use the tarp. That should be good enough. I see the smoke. I don't see any flames. Looks like we're just about out. Wow, that really burned down well. So check it out. See my feet? Look at my face. My face, my feet. There's not enough space in here for me. But it's okay, I usually sleep on my side. This thing should be a little bit longer, but we're gonna try to sleep now. I got stuffed up bad tonight, I don't know why. But I'm like sipping on this, it's somehow making it better. Alright, so this tent is condensating inside really bad. And it's very small for a tall person. It's wet everywhere. This is not a good tent. I like the other one better, the bigger one that has regular poles. This one's easy to set up, but it's a little small. And I forgot my blanket, but I'm using this tarp. The camouflage side is dry. The green side is damp from the last camp. But my nose is blocked, so I can't smell if it's mildewy or not. But it's okay. I'm going to try to get some sleep. It's really not that cold. I just feel better if I'm covered with a blanket. Well, good night, everyone. I'll see you in the morning. Some of the reviews of this tent were talking about how it has excessive condensation. It's absolutely true, and these ripples on the roof cause it to drip on you. And there's a lot of things about this tent that aren't that great. So here's what I learned overnight. This tent is not exactly firm. It will drip all over you. And thankfully I didn't bring my blanket. Thankfully I forgot my blanket and I had to use a tarp. This tarp, not only did I learn, is actually fairly warm. Last night got down to 48 degrees or 9 Celsius. It's warm and I didn't get wet because all the dripping from the ceiling is on a plastic tarp. I think it's kind of crazy how much water has been in here dripping off the ceiling. And that's all my breath condensating because it's cold outside. Look at this. Drip, drip, drip. Yep,
The reviews were not lying. This tent is too small for somebody who is probably over 5'5". It's too small. As someone who's 6 feet tall, I can't lay down properly. It gets very wet in here. Yep, still dripping. But right now I'm about to close up everything. I'm not going to put everything away, but I'm going to start by deflating the bed. And I'm going to maybe hang out here for a couple of hours, and hopefully the sun will dry this so it doesn't mildew. Because I honestly don't see myself ever using this tent again. It sucks. The idea of buying night cat tents is because there's no ventilation, you see? But it being so small, you can't help but touch the condensation that forms as a result of no ventilation. I even, for half the night, left these open, hoping the ventilation through both sides of it passing through would get rid of that. It did not work, so I closed it because it got a little chilly. I love my other night cat tent. I will not use this one again. It is not worth it. It is a pain in so many different ways. Plus, the other one is more compact. Just takes a little longer to set up. But I did buy one more night cat product I'm going to try on my next camp down in the Everglades. We'll see if it holds up. It's much bigger. So my favorite tent has a small vent on the roof, and it makes a huge difference. Absolutely beautiful. Exactly 6 in the morning. Sun is supposed to come up at exactly 7 in the morning. I get to watch the beautiful sunrise. I can shut my headlamp off. To the naked eye, I can actually see. I can see the white sand. I can see all the dark figures of grass. I can get around. There's so many stars. You can even see them on camera. They're so bright. I'm not even enhancing this like I have to in most cases. You still see the city way over there. Over on the panhandle. There's been a boat driving around for a while. I don't know what they're catching at this hour. But I hear a bunch of noises. I think the pelicans are waking up. Birds always wake up real early. It's not that cold. There's a good breeze compared to yesterday. I hope it's not choppy. But thankfully here in Florida, it gets warm really fast. Once the sun hits, it's gonna feel nice and warm. I didn't bring a jacket or anything, but I don't really need it. Wasn't really chilly. That tarp actually did the trick. Ooh, the tide really did come in. These puddles weren't here. I see puddles and stuff all around me. Can't wait until it gets light to show you. It's really beautiful out. I just folded up my air mattress and tarp. The only thing left is the tent, waiting for that to dry. So, all this water wasn't sitting here last night. Not like that anyways. The sky is so nice. The fire is completely out. So many stars. But despite these puddles getting left, it's probably because the sun's not burning them off like yesterday afternoon. It's actually low tide right now. Because high tide was at 1 in the morning. Now it's 6. This tide right now, I think, is way lower than we saw last night. It seems way lower. We couldn't walk this far out. It's unbelievably low, and it should still be low when the sun comes up in an hour. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. Wow, I'm not using a filter or anything. That's so pretty. I can't even see the end of the beach. Oh my gosh, this island got big. Where'd the ocean go? Can't wait until the sun comes up to be able to show this a little better. Yeah, the tide went out like twice as far as yesterday. so cool. This is insane. I still can't see the water. And there's our island. I can't believe it. Can you tell how far I am right now? Oh my gosh. It's still going. Okay, the flashlight won't let me get it into super bright mode. It doesn't have that much battery left. This is actually still dropping. Low tide is not for a bit longer. It's still incredibly shallow out here. Who knows how far I can walk. But this is interesting to see how far you'd actually be able to walk out here, even at high tide. Let's go see how low it got over by the Pelicans. The island's literally multiple times bigger now. Alrighty everyone, while we're waiting for the sun to come up, I want to look at historical imagery using the app Google Earth. So here's Little Pine Island. There are hundreds of tree stumps now that the water is so low. So when did this island get hit by a hurricane? That's what I'm assuming happened. Let's take a look at the years. 2025, 2020. Look at all that forest on the left side of the island. That's not here anymore. 2025, 2020. Wow. Wow indeed. In 2020, this was a forest way out there. All the earth has been completely eroded up to this point. This island will probably be gone. Another big hurricane hits. 2014, a little bigger. 2010, pretty much the same. Go back to 1999. Wow, looks like it was connected over to that grassy land. 1994, had a lot of beach. And that actually looks almost human-made right there. Interesting. Now, knowing this, we're going to go research. Was there any huge hurricanes around 2020 that would have caused this? Yes, there was, and one of them took a direct path towards this area. Yesterday, all I had to do was pull the kayak up from here. If I wanted to leave now, I don't have to just drag it there. That's too shallow to take off. I'd have to drag it way, way out there. See, there's just inches of water between the island and that next sandbar. And it turns out I'm not allergic really to the fire ants. It just tingled when they directly hit me. And after a couple minutes, I went walking around in the water and I didn't feel it again after that. So at least I'm not allergic to them in any way. But I did learn last night, even though I did actually get a pretty decent night's sleep. I slept like 5 or 6 hours. I probably would have slept a lot better if I was able to breathe better. I have a little first aid kit I carry in my backpack with me out on these trips. I need to add nasal spray to that, and that would have helped me out a lot. Look at these beautiful trees. I love watching sunsets with palm trees. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if I could walk to the big Pine Island. It's probably not very deep. I hear more boats. That's actually over by that boat ramp we saw yesterday. A lot of people are taking off very early from there. That's 50 minutes of paddling away. You just hear everything when it's calm out like this. And look at this. Look at it's draining the pond in the middle of the island. That's cool. We didn't get to see any of this yesterday because of the sun probably contributes a lot to it drying up. Even as an adult, since I was a little kid, I love building little sand dams to block off stuff like this. That was cool last night, seeing all those crabs. They're all probably away because the birds wake up early. They want to eat them. It's light enough that we could take off, but I want the tent to dry for a little bit, so we'll hang out for a while. I want to see how far we can walk. We might actually be able to walk like the imagery was showing. This might be connected, because that older imagery from '99 probably was just during low tide, and the rest of them were probably taken at a higher tide. Look at this, completely refreshed. Last night, those waves definitely got all the way up here at the high tide in the middle of the night we missed. Yep, this is absolutely connected. And I hear so many bubbles and stuff draining. But this just means we're connected to that grassland. And looking at the map, that is not connected to the land. It looks like we could just about walk to the other island. Look at that. I bet that's super shallow out there. Let's go check it out. We got nothing better to do. I stepped on something. I don't know what it is. I feel like something just stung my toe. Backtracking a moment just to make sure there's no jellyfish or something, because my toe is suddenly stinging and I don't know why. I can definitely see why the pelicans love this area. Look at all these little puddles for fish to get trapped in. And it looks like there's probably lots of shallow pools. I'm seeing if I can walk to the bigger island. No, you can't just walk over there, but you could easily swim it. There's less than 100 feet of water here before this sandbar, and up there I can tell the next area is probably shallow. Wouldn't be hard to get over there. Probably wouldn't be hard to get all the way back to the vehicle if I had to. This area is full of clams. As you're walking around, your vibrations, it's scaring them. And there's all kinds of little squirts coming out of the mud. Pelicans are opportunistic and they will eat those too. The seagulls, there's so much food for these guys. And there's some sort of trap out here. See the buoy? I saw the buoy floating earlier, but I didn't know what it was. What kind of traps are these? I see 2 of them there. Actually, a third one. There's one right here. Maybe we can see if anything's in it. I don't know where the pelicans went, but I see some seagulls. This area's got lots of clams. Check it out. Wait for it. You're gonna see some squirting. Oh, there we go. If you were to dig down where the squirting is occurring, there'd be a clam under there. Oh! Especially when I'm walking near them. Could that be what this trap is for? I think we can walk right up to it. Ooh, it's getting kind of sticky over here. And we got another gigantic snail. Look at that. This is like peanut butter mud. More squirting going on. Can we see what's in there yet? Maybe a crab? Crab trap? Looks like a crab. Let's see what we got. That's the buoy so the boat can find it when it's deep. Yep, there's some crabs. There's also some shells. Are they alive? Boop. Boop. I don't know if they're alive. How about you? Hey, no, those are all just shells. I don't think this trap's meant to come out of the water like this. I think these guys probably literally died in the sun yesterday. Yeah, I don't think these traps are supposed to come out of the water like this. I wonder if the person setting them is aware of this. How about you? Are you alive? You big one? Oh, yeah, you're alive. That's sad that most of them are dying, and those ones have been picked apart by something during high tide, probably eating them, because I don't think the birds can get in there. I tipped it over to splash a little bit of water on that guy, because the tide's not going to be up again. In fact, it's still dropping for a while. Yep, somebody's trapping has become a failure because something ate them all. When the water went up, maybe other crabs started picking the dead ones apart. What do you think? But that guy's still alive. I feel bad for him. Ooh, more squirting crabs. The osprey's back. Same guy we saw eating fish yesterday. I found some, that's not fishing line, I think that's weed whacker wire. I'm gonna take that with me because animals will get stuck in that. Look how big the beach got.
Get closer, because out here there's not too many people.
Incredible. Look at all those stumps. Down here too. Trees way out there. Oh, I'm starting to get a glimpse of the sun. The sun is coming. Let's see how on time it is. Let's take a look. What time is it? 7:01. Perfect. What a difference. Here's that thing we tried to lift up yesterday. I wonder how many other islands there used to be, because I see lots of sandbars and skeleton forest way out there. I see more skeleton forest on the horizon. Just 5 years ago, this was thick, dense forest. And all that's left now is the roots. The sun's only been up a half an hour, but it's already starting to get really warm. Let's see. How's the moisture? Still pretty bad. We'll hang out. I should open the windows too. All right, we're heading out. It's very shallow. There's probably sandbars here, so I think we gotta go out and around. Tide is coming back in, but it only came in a little bit just to cover up a sandbar that I know is there. I think once I hit it, I'll just walk over it a lot faster. Oh wow, this is cool. Look at the current. This is like little rapids. Tide's coming in fast. It's kind of awesome. Yep, we're stuck. Way too shallow here. Well, I'm just gonna walk with it. It's deep enough for it to float without me in it. Once it gets deep enough again, I should be good. I think this is the only sandbar. I don't know if you can tell, this is rushing in real fast. Now it's starting to get deeper. I'm gonna try getting back in. You see all that? There's a whole school of fish following me, and they occasionally jump all at once. Pretty cool, there's a lot of fish. Oh, there it goes again. Look at all the fish. I'm not sure if it's my paddling scaring them out of the water or the bright color of the kayak, but they're following me. That's a cool boat.
That'd be kind of neat to have one of them up north. Nobody else has those. Right here, there's sandbars all around me. From the island, I had to get out twice and walk, and I just grazed a couple of them, but made it through. The tide's rising fast, actually. There's all kinds of sandbars I didn't notice. I do believe I could have walked all the way back the entire way and been able to touch the bottom. It may have been up to my chest, but I feel like it, because the whole way back I can see the bottom. That's actually the guy with the crab traps. That's what he just stopped for, to lift one of them out of the water. But now, I see where we're going in sight. My arms are hurting today, I'm not sure why. Maybe I was paddling too fast yesterday, because this is rough today. I think I'm gonna have to get out and walk, but that's a good break for my legs. It's getting very shallow again. Yep, I'm touching bottom. I gotta get up. We made it back, and the water sure is lower than yesterday. This brightly colored toilet building was a great landmark, and this was underwater yesterday. Probably part of an old dock. That's what I'm assuming all this stuff is. An old dock when it was a campground. Got a bunch of hermit crabs in the water. So I'll drag the kayak through the sand, but I'm not going to drag it through some of this more abrasive stuff up there, so we'll see what there is. Tide's coming in fast. Look at that. All right, everyone. I made 2 trips on the way back. I think that's why my arms were sore. I carried this down there yesterday with all the gear in it. But I made 2 trips, and this is actually way easier. So we weren't messed with at all. There was no ticket on the car. But the park rangers, I think, were coming in here. There's ATV tracks. I think that's what that is from the neighboring place where we saw them. They had a little ATV cart that they used to take care of the compound. But we're out of here now. Yesterday, getting out there, I was in a rush because you got to get out there before someone tells you you're not able to do that. There's literally no one around here, so I left my stuff there. I didn't pack it up yet. I gotta rinse all this mud off myself first. But Florida does have a lot less restrictions as far as camping and stuff, which I do like. Like even this abandoned campground has numerous fire pits you can tell are still being used, and it doesn't look like anybody really cares. See, I didn't want to drag it back here because this is kind of sharp. I think this is all pieces of broken coral. That's what it looks like. Now this is very mucky, so I gotta try to rinse off and carefully get back without getting mucky. This is gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Maybe I can rinse off in those puddles. This is the worst kind of mud because as you're walking, it gets stuck, then it flings it up on your back when your soul finally gives. Oh no! Right when I thought I pulled it off, I started sinking again. Okay, I guess I'll walk down there now where the water's actually touching the coral. So they got signs saying no camping in the refuge. But I guess they could care less about the rest of the beach because there's fire pits everywhere. Finally got the mud off. The sand is inevitable, but that'll fall off when it dries. Look at this guardrail buried. And if you look back here, there's another guardrail. Like this was the old parking area for the campground. I was looking at historical images and they don't look any different. This barely got eroded in the past 25 years. Looks pretty much the same. I can tell by the bark that the small pine island had a few of these, but they were dead. All right, everyone, now we're back on the road. There's a ton of gigantic ants walking around on the hood. I think they're red carpenter ants. But thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day. Fishing on the bridges. None of the bridges on these roads are paved. It's kind of interesting seeing logging operations in the south. Most of the panhandle in northern Florida is logging forest. They have a few lumber mills and I think that's southern yellow pine. A ton of it. You can tell that was planted by a machine, and the stuff we're driving by right now is much bigger. A lot of clear cuts, and then they replant it just like up north. Kind of cool. But down here, they got to use the public roads. There's no double wide trucks. This area, they're doing strip logging. They don't do that too much in my area, where they log basically the width of a road, leave a width of a road, leave. Then that way, with the sun angle, the forest floor, the majority of it still stays shaded, and it's better during drought, and it helps the trees not go into shock. And you see the left side, they clear cut it. And
there's probably little seedlings in there that are so small you can't see them growing yet. But down here, their lumber mill, I saw a very messy operation. They had, looks like some semis they use there just for getting rid of the bark and messiness. I'll show you a picture of it. There's one of the log yards. Lots and lots of logs in there. They're replacing all the culverts on this road. And I've never seen culverts like this. They're reinforced concrete, but they're oval. An oval laying on its side, I would feel like that wouldn't be quite as strong. And it gives the water more surface area, meaning when there's just a little bit of current, it's not going as fast. You saw him on that trailer there? Just like, in most cases, oversizing things is good, but sometimes it can cause blockages to more easily occur, since a large pipe will never have a swift moving current through it in some situations.